Hi everyone, so we're going to chapter 3 and 4. Chapter 3 is really interesting. Well, pretty much, it's just like one freaking boss fight. So yeah. But, however, the best thing about this one is the fact that, oh yeah, you have to make sure you get one cutscene, you have to hit the Hokage room, because you don't want to pause it, because if you pause it, then you're screwed. But pretty much, that's what you pretty much do. So the method of usually what happens is that during my speed run through the how do I say it? During the speed run, I hope I get attacked so I can change to Shikamaru. Yes, okay. So you want Shikamaru when it comes to fighting Kankuro, which is not technically Kankuro, it's just a puppet that's manipulating. Let's discuss about that. This area is probably the worst one to fight enemies because it's so big and you don't know if there's more enemies in this guy. If you lock onto enemy and there's an enemy there, then you can just attack them like that.
What a drag.
Alright, so here's what you're supposed to do. I have Shikamaru, the switch. Usually when you're doing a speedrun, you can't switch them after the battle's over. But since I'm just explaining it to you, this is gonna be really funny. So I just want to let you know that this is gonna be the easiest freaking method. So remember I explained to you in the last speedrun part that I got shurikens? Well, you use shadow position jutsu, you press triangle, switch to Naruto, and then you just fuck them up. That's all you fucking do. I'm getting all fucking Shikamaru stuff. That's all you do. The spread shuriken is fucking broken as shit. If I run out, if I run out, then you understand. But yeah, you just fuck them up by doing that. Spread shurikens are really easy to get. It's an easy way to level up. Usually do. There's a mission where you can get spread shuriken if you want to do new game plus. But if it's a new game, then you have to do it differently. So if you use the shadow possession jutsu, you do not want to use the shuriken in this part because the game slows down because of how many enemies are on the list. So this is pretty much Shikamaru's thing. But you also gotta be careful that you don't fucking do this shit. Yeah, so you gotta be careful because these guys drop weapons.
Shadow Possession Jutsu! Shadow Possession Jutsu! Shadow Possession Jutsu! Shadow Possession Jutsu! What a drag.
Now, when it comes to you need to use Shikamaru because of the fact that if you use a shuriken, it slows down the game because it can't render that much stuff that's in the fucking game. And the fact you need to save it for a couple other bosses. Which we'll get to that when we get to that, which is gonna be fucking hilarious. So pretty much, that's what you pretty much do. Like that mission only took us like less than 5 minutes. Oh yeah, also if you're running low on things, just use fucking Conqueror. I hate this. This is probably the worst map in the whole when it comes to getting enemies. You want to use Naruto. Why am I using Shikamaru? That's where I'm not. Naruto does fit. Oh yeah. This is the problem with this area is because there's so many freaking places to hide and it's so fucking big because of that reason. So you gotta be careful on that part. So that's how you beat Kankuro, which is fucking hilarious. You want to use Shikamaru. You don't want to use the fucking shuriken because you need to use them in the later half of the game. Pretty much. So the next chapter, I'm going to be pausing it a few times because I got to explain. Because this is where the chapters get longer. 4 through 9 are probably the longest one. I mean, chapter 10 even though it's the final boss, you can just go straight to it. The only thing you have to do is skip a couple cutscenes. That's all you do. So I'll explain that when we get to the final boss, because the final boss has 3 phases, and I usually do it the same way I always do it. Especially when you do a speedrun, because most people just go Ninetales mode after the first and second stage. So this one you have Shikamaru and Conqueror. Hopefully we don't get attacked. Yeah, of course we get attacked. So pretty much, this is probably gonna see. This is why I wanted to do 2 chapters on this part. Because of, you need to make sure that you know what to have. Conqueror is kind of useless at this point, even though you can switch.
It's my turn.
He's kind of useless.
The end.
But I'm gonna be, well, since this is not a speedrun, I'm just explaining how to speedrun. I'll switch to the characters if I have to. Ninetales Naruto you don't need in this chapter. So there are 2 ways of doing this mission. Conqueror, you don't use them at the last second, or you use them in the last. But yeah, as you can see, Conqueror only does 28 at this point, because I haven't leveled them up yet. I leveled them up a few times, so that's why I'm doing this. I know it's a lot slower, but if I get attacked again, I'll switch to Naruto. Because I'm only doing the sections that you need to do. If I get attacked by random enemies, I'll switch to Shikamaru or fucking Naruto. Or Conqueror, or whatever the fuck I have. Unless I don't have it. The thing about Conqueror, though, is the fact that he's not useful until chapter 7. Or is it chapter 7? Conqueror is not useful until chapter 7. Especially when you have infinite chakra. And I'll explain that when we get there. Because the shurikens don't do anything good. Besides, I'm only doing two chapters this time around. So you want to. This is where it gets a little interesting.
Have things been
Because you do have to switch to. I switch to Shikamaru. You don't have to switch to Shikamaru, but I think that is really good to switch to Shikamaru.
Thank you. If I have to, it's my turn.
I want Naruto. So these guys are a lot stronger, so you have to hit them twice. So you just press this button twice. You gotta make sure though that you don't start a 10-hit combo, because the more hits you do in it consecutively, the less damage it does. So you gotta keep that in mind. So just be careful. Ooh, money. Even though I don't really need money, I've gotten everyone's freaking thing. So that's what you're supposed to do. Now this is where it gets a little interesting. You want to keep Naruto. You want to keep Naruto because of reasons. Because there's 2 sections that you have to do. First off, you can jump over here, but you can also do. I have Naruto's air dash because of reasons. And I'll explain that when we get to the clock. Hopefully, unless I'm bubbling my fucking words. But pretty much though, that's what you do. So this guy takes 3 hits. Unless he blocks like a fucking douchebag. As you can see, I have 87 of these things. If you want the, I should do that, actually. So, if I ever get attacked by, in the map again, I'll use the shurikens. And the shurikens, they go a lot faster. No, Naruto doesn't really need the fucking money. You want to be next to the door because it's faster. I was not close to the door, so that makes me a lot slower. So, yeah. So, after you beat these guys, I usually switch to Shikamaru, because if you don't, then it's gonna... Because when you beat enemies, the characters do their victory animation. So, these guys are a lot stronger because they take a lot different. Be careful though, because they might block one of your fucking punches. destroyed. So you gotta be careful with those guys because they do a lot more damage. They take a lot more damage, and they also block, so you gotta kill them faster. Now, when it comes to the other two guys are down there, but I don't know if they're gonna come down there. You gotta be careful because there are guys up top there. So since you can't skip this, you gotta switch to. I usually switch to Shikamaru, and there's a reason for that because we have a clock thing. Now the clock thing has a timer to. You have to put on the exact time to open up the door because there are two doors. So one's at 6 and one's at 8. The only reason why I use Shikamaru because he has a 4-hit combo that does 4 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4. See what I mean? He stops. And that means you can just open up the door like yourself. Then you go down and you skip that. See?
It's my turn.
Then you go switching back to Naruto because Naruto's a douche. Nah, he's not a douche. I'm just making stuff up. I like Naruto. Naruto's my favorite anime. Well, he's in the top 5 at least. But pretty much that's what you do. So when it comes to these things, you can use shadow clones, but if you're doing a speed run, you always want this one. It's the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the 4th one down, I believe. Now you gotta be careful of these guys. If they're blocking your way, just jump and do an air dash. That's why I have air dashes, because you can skip a few things. You have to be fast though, because if you're not, the clock's gonna keep going. As you can see, and then there you go. Like I said, there's a save point here, but you don't need to save because they're not saving. Now this section sucks. You have to be precise, and you gotta make sure you don't fuck up. Because this area is not fun. Because it's platforming 101. However, yeah. So this is what the route you're supposed to take, that I usually take anyway. You jump on top of the clock. You can't kill the guys as I missed. So you jump on top of here. There's a railing there, so if you want to do the air dash, you can. You jump on top of here. There's 3 of these clock things. I might get the golden bar too, just for shits and giggles. Usually when you do a speed run, you don't get the golden bar, but you know. So you're supposed to jump on top of there, but if you miss it, you can just jump on here. You jump here. You do a wall. Alright, so here's the thing. When you're doing the speed run, you're supposed to jump on top of the wall, air dash backwards, and get on top of there. Alright, let's open up that thing. Then you jump, air dash over there, and there you go. That jump is very precise. You gotta make sure you know what the hell you're doing. Because if you don't, then you're gonna mess up the fucking jump. I've air dash past that jump before. This one's easy. All you do is go straight and jump. That's all you do. Pretty much so. Now, usually what happens is that you jump. You're supposed to go down there, but there's a gold bar here. I'm gonna pick it up just because I'm just explaining stuff. So there are weapons here. If you're doing this on your first speed run, there are weapons on, I think, over here, I believe. Yeah, they're electric kunai, but you don't. I'm not using them because I got my thing. So usually what happens is the fact that if you have the shuriken, you can use the shuriken to kill most of them, and then when you get to the final 10, you can just use Ninetales Naruto and fuck them up. That's what I usually do nowadays. But usually the conservative way to do it is
If I
use
have
Shikamaru,
to.
because Shikamaru can use Shadow Possession Jutsu on
Shadow
other
Possession Jutsu!
enemies in a row.
Shadow Possession Jutsu!
It might be a lot slower, but it's a lot more effective.
Shadow Possession Jutsu! Shadow Possession Jutsu!
And besides, the more of these
Shadow
guys
Possession
you have,
Jutsu! Shadow Possession Jutsu!
pretty much,
It's my
or you
turn.
can do it this way. Which I think is a lot faster. You gotta make sure he doesn't get up. So yeah, so there's gonna be 4 of you guys. Oh yeah, you can also grind for fucking virtue, which I showed that in the video before. So now I can go 9 kills Naruto. Now you gotta be careful though, because these enemies take a lot longer to bring, and if you have to wait a few minutes because they're still on the platform. But now you can go 9 kills Naruto and fuck them all up. Pretty much. That's all you do. So yeah, that stage is a lot longer because you have to go through a lot of stuff. But yeah. Then you walk your way back. I'm not getting more shuriken because I want to explain how I do things. We're probably gonna, if you want to do a speed run of this stage, you gotta make sure you know what the hell you're doing. Pretty much. Oh yeah, so you still have 9 kills. Although you gotta be careful if enemies are next to you, because they still do damage.
If I have to. What a drag.
So I have 68 at the moment. Will I get attacked the whole entire way? Well, I didn't get attacked on the first chapter at least once. See, it's all the faster the more faster you get, you don't want to get attacked.
No way!
However, if you get Shikamaru, you can just use Kunai to fucking.
What a
Dude, Shikamaru is broken, like, because he has infinite fucking kunai. So if you ever have Shikamaru, use the infinite kunai because you don't want to waste all your freaking shuriken. Because even though shuriken are a lot more deadlier than the kunai, explosive kunai, at least you're not wasting them because Shikamaru has infinite kunai. So if you have them, then you're fine. So this is where the interesting thing. So the next chapter is chapter 5, which is easy and to the point. But I hope you guys have a nice positive day. Take care. And we're going to do 2 more next part, hopefully.